Put your motherfucking hands on me, you dead! Dead! You fake ass gangsters! I'm blowing this up! You motherfuckers. He assaulted me. Yup, and they put me in a hospital on an APAP. When I was assaulted at that barbershop over there they call Legends, over at Allure, he threatened to kill me, so I need to file a police report.
That Courtney Burgess was planted with this information on purpose to basically get the feds to turn their eye off of other people that are allegedly going to go down with Diddy. And the person that she called out was Jay-Z and the Carters. And then Courtney Burgess started acting really strange and multiple different times threw up these triangles while she was saying stuff like this.
You're on my witness. I'm losing. I'm safe.
Jaguar Wright has just survived what appears to be a real assassination attempt, not just harassment or threats, an actual planned attack. And the timing raises eyebrows, as this incident happened just days after Jaguar publicly named individuals she claims were part of Diddy's RICO network. Among those named were Jay-Z, Desiree Perez, Clive Davis, Courtney Burgess, Alex Spiro, and others whom she accuses of helping to cover up serious crimes over the years.
And I sent you a very real message, man. I said they're trying to unalive me again. Can you help? You never responded. You went just as ghost as Jussie Smollett did a week ago. But I'm starting to research you, Miss Kid. And so help me God, if I find you've had any legal dealings with Alex Spiro, you and I are going to have a complaint.
As many of you already know, Jaguar has long been speaking out against corruption in the industry. But this situation feels different. As soon as she began connecting Diddy's case to a wider circle of alleged enablers, strange things started happening. Her hotel room was broken into, her vehicle was sabotaged, and even her husband was reportedly paid off to betray her.
Okay.
What the
Hold on.
And it doesn't stop there. According to Jaguar, this isn't just about Diddy anymore. She's now calling out even more powerful figures with strong connections to various artists, not only Diddy. But before we dive into who those individuals are, it's important to understand Jaguar didn't make these claims behind closed doors. She went live, looked straight into the camera, and said, "If anything happens to me, you know who did it." So now we're left asking, was this incident an attempt to silence her? Was it a warning? Or did Jaguar come too close to something far more dangerous and just as critical, who continues to shield Diddy
So I can have my lawyer serve the paperwork for my Why am I waiting? I was in the hospital for 9 days. They put me in on an APAL. I have bruises. My thumb and my pinky was done from where they stood on my back with the handcuff.
So let's talk about what actually happened. Jaguar Wright says she narrowly escaped a coordinated assassination attempt, and she believes it's all connected to the same people who, for years, allegedly protected Diddy and his criminal operations.
Oh, my dead son. Oh, my dead son. Oh, my son. Oh, my son.
God,
they're all dead.
No,
they're all dead.
Jaguar claims she spotted a black SUV circling her Dallas hotel multiple times that day. Later, as she was returning, she says she saw someone crouched near her vehicle, apparently tampering with the tires.
So it's dark back there. I had my key out, and I had my knuckles in my back pocket, my brass knuckles. And sure enough, he came out the dark as I was about to put my key in the door and go upstairs.
According to Jaguar, the individual was attempting to rig her car in a way that would make any incident appear accidental. Fortunately, she noticed in time, confronted the person, and the situation escalated into a physical altercation.
I'm the fucking boogeyman. I ran up on that, just started punching the out of him. Whooped his, took his knife. I was like, you see this? Get him on knife. I was losing it. I swear to God, if I see you out these streets, I'm gonna kill you.
Thankfully,
now, luckily,
Jaguar knows how to defend herself, but the experience still left her unsettled. She says it was clear to her this wasn't about intimidation. They intended to end her life.
The thing is I'm prepared for what I'm prepared for. You know what I mean? I've had everything bad that pretty much a human being can go through happen to me.
So after this incident, Jaguar went live with Tokyo Tony, where she displayed several weapons she says she keeps with her at all times. She's moving through her days as if she's in constant danger, and frankly, it makes sense given the circumstances.
I gotta go spend some time with my godson before they try to kill me again. Oh my God, stop saying that. Don't put that in the universe. They've been trying to kill me.
And when Tokyo directly asked who she believes is behind these attempts on her life, Jaguar didn't hold back. She named two individuals without hesitation, Sean Carter and Sean Combs.
They tried to do it in Chicago. Okay, but who are they? You know who the I'm talking about. Oh my God, I'm talking about the Seans. I'm talking about Sean Carter. Oh my God, Sean Combs.
Jaguar went on to claim that someone had tried to blow up her car, and what's more, she even mentioned Beyonce by name, implying she may have had some connection to the attempted attack.
Somebody tried to blow up my car. I hope Beyonce falls and breaks her neck.
Now, most of you already know that Jaguar has been speaking out against Diddy and Jay-Z for years. That part isn't new. She's accused them of everything from scamming artists to being involved in the disappearance of several individuals.
Avon? Jacqueline Avon? Kim Porter? Albie Shore? Heavy D? Andre Harrell? Father MC Baby Mom? Big L? Biggie Smalls? Christopher Wallace? Pimp C? Aaliyah? Sweetheart, there are so many names.
And as we've seen, the industry was quick to label Jaguar as unstable and dismissed her warnings when she first began sounding the alarm about Diddy.
First time you heard me say that Sean Combs was a sex trafficker, and you said I was a liar because I was jealous, because I wasn't his girlfriend, because I wasn't successful in the music industry, because I didn't have a hit record, because I didn't live in a mansion, because I didn't have diamonds. You said all of these things about me because I told the truth. You disgraced my name, my legacy, my family. You stalked, you hunted me. You harassed my friends.
But this time feels different. Lately, she hasn't just been criticizing the high-profile figures, she's been going further, revealing details and documents about the larger system behind them. Jaguar claims there's an entire network of people, both men and women, who work to protect Diddy and Jay-Z's empires for decades. Prior to the alleged attack, she exposed a group of powerful individuals she says created what she calls the freak-off pipeline, a front she alleges for something far worse. According to Jaguar, Diddy's events weren't simply about personal indulgence. She claims other men were present, actively bidding on victims.
They auditioned to be models for music videos.
Oh, casting couch.
When they got to Miami, they had to show and turn over their ID, and they collected their passports. And then the next thing you know, they were in a storage container getting by a bunch of weird strangers on camera who were bidding for all of the terrible things that were happening to them live online.
Jaguar also began calling out the middleman industry insiders with federal TIs, high-profile lawyers who handled cleanups, drafted NDAs, and even false witnesses who allegedly coached victims on their statements. She was connecting links that others hadn't addressed, identifying the people operating in the background. Out of all the names she's mentioned, 3 kept resurfacing in her videos prior to the alleged attempt on her life. Ron Burkle, a billionaire investor with links to private equity, politics, and Epstein's network. Desiree Perez, CEO of Rock Nation with a criminal history. And Courtney Burgess, an alleged industry fixer who, according to Jaguar, was placed by Rock Nation to divert attention away from Jay-Z's connections to Diddy's case. What's notable is that while many avoid naming these individuals, Jaguar hasn't held back. Let's go through them one by one, starting with the billionaire linked to both Epstein's and Diddy's contact circles, Ron Burkle. An investigative report by Unlimited Hangout titled One Label Under Blackmail, The Early Intersections of Diddy and the Epstein Network reveals that Burkle is the godfather to all of Diddy's children. He was also reportedly a frequent passenger on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet. While most people are aware of Diddy's relationship with Clive Davis, who helped establish Bad Boy Entertainment, Burkle's name rarely comes up. According to Jaguar, that's not a coincidence. Burkle wasn't just a casual investor, he's considered one of Diddy's earliest and most consistent financial supporters. In 2003, Burkle put $100 million into Diddy's Sean John clothing brand, which at the time wasn't generating significant profits. Media outlets even referred to Burkle as Diddy's sugar daddy. But the real question is, why would Burkle commit $100 million to a struggling clothing line? Jaguar believes the investment had little to do with fashion. She claims Burkle was funding Diddy's blackmail network. According to her, Diddy was operating similarly to Epstein, supplying victims to influential clients and gathering compromising material as leverage for people far more powerful than himself.
To know how they ended up on Epstein Island? They auditioned to be models for music videos.
Oh, cast it out.
When they got to Miami, they had to show and turn over their ID, and they collected their passports. And then the next thing you know, they were in a storage container getting by a bunch of weird strangers on camera who were bidding for all of the terrible things that were happening to them live online. After they made it through that, that's when they were sent to Rick Ross's music videos as groupies and extras to make sure that they could walk around in society without looking like victims.
Now, when it comes to Ron, has faced a fair share of controversy over the years. For example, in 2020, his son Andrew Burkle was found deceased at his Beverly Hills residence, and the family chose not to disclose the cause of death. Interestingly, Andrew had close ties to Diddy's sons. Quincy Brown even posted a tribute on Instagram, mentioning they had plans to meet for lunch the next day. Despite this connection, none of it received attention until Jaguar raised the issue publicly. Following her comments, Burkle's team reportedly began scrubbing the internet, removing content that linked him to both Diddy and Epstein, including news articles and social media posts. Today, Ron Burkle maintains a low public profile. However, records show he's still active. He co-founded Ukaipa, sits on boards like Yahoo and Achalero, and is also a co-owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yet, any mention of his name tied to Epstein's Black Book or Diddy's alleged freak-off events appears to be disappearing online. Only Jaguar and a handful of independent reporters have covered this, and just weeks later, someone allegedly tried to blow up her vehicle. But there's another name that rarely draws the scrutiny it arguably should: Desiree Perez, Jay-Z's close associate at Roc Nation and one of the most influential figures in the industry. What the mainstream rarely, if ever, acknowledges is that Desiree was once a federal informant, a fact Jay-Z was reportedly aware of when appointing her as president of Roc Nation. According to Jay-Z's former associate, Dehavin, Desiree is a key reason Jay-Z has managed to avoid any significant legal trouble.
And I can guarantee you the conversation with Emery, even when Emery came home and seen, you know what I'm saying? Then it just don't add up at some point. And then how's everybody going to jail but you?
When Dehavin was asked whether Jay-Z could be the next to face consequences after Diddy, he responded that it would never happen because Jay-Z and those behind Diddy's downfall are all part of the same network.
Jaguar kind of alluded to Jay-Z may be next. What is your thoughts when you hear the world, like, they done took down Puff, they done took down all these other powerful black people. Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man. If you do the track wrestling on them, Jay is them people. If you do the history of most of the people that got in trouble in the industry, big trouble, who they went to for help? When Lil Wayne was in trouble, who did he go to? When Meek Mills was in trouble, who he go to? Meek Mills said it himself. Desiree helped me. You understand? So how could he be up next? You know what I'm saying? He is them people. They go to him when they got problems. Like I said, I think he is them. He has a relationship with them. You talking about a woman that had a relationship with the feds for 20-something years, right? When you working for them, you got an agent, your agent that's in charge of you. You think she don't have no relationships with over the years with all these agents that became
retired and connected and this and that and the third to they just know shit. She got power. That's power over there. You know what I'm saying? Who you wanting one on your side? You got them on your side?
But Jaguar didn't stop there. She went even further than Devin. Instead of just talking about Desiree Perez, she actually found and interviewed the daughter that Desiree had reportedly abandoned, and she did it live on air.
So I was born in New York as a little baby, 9 months. My grandfather had to take over to raise me because my mother was incarcerated and dealing with the criminal justice system for the crimes that she committed in the early 90s.
How long has the relationship with your mom been strained at this point?
I haven't seen my mom since December 25th, 2023. That's the last time that I saw her physically. The last time I spoke to her was December 30th, 2023, when she said that I was dead to her.
That live stream took place just days before the alleged attempt to permanently silence Jaguar. Consider the timing. She publicly confronted one of the most influential women in hip-hop through her own child, and shortly after, someone tried to take her out. The connection doesn't take a conspiracy theorist to notice. So the real question is, if Jaguar is truly delusional, why does she keep naming the right people? She also exposed another individual, Courtney Burgess, the industry fixer Jaguar claims was hired by Roc Nation to act as a false witness in Diddy's case. Courtney said he had possession of Kim Porter's original memoir, but Jaguar revealed that he had close personal ties to Diddy. Specifically, Courtney is the godson of Frank Lucas, the infamous Harlem kingpin who once employed Diddy's late father, Melvin Combs. Courtney even confirmed this connection in a TMZ interview after Jaguar brought it to light, although he maintained that he didn't personally know Diddy.
Yeah. How do you know Sean Combs?
Generation, Frank Lucas was my godfather and his father, and then we both was in the music business for 30 years together.
So you personally know him?
Not who, the whole person.
Sean Combs.
Not person.
But you know of him, he knows of you.
Him, yeah. I used to get Tupac, Hussein Fatal. He stopped a lot of my music. A lot of other people who didn't care about it. You understand? That's not around today.
Here's where things take an unusual turn. After Jaguar called him out for being dishonest, Courtney agreed to join her on a live stream. But during the interview, something odd occurred several times. He appeared to flash the Roc Nation hand sign. Watch carefully.
Need to slow down. Stop running your mouth so much.
I don't need to do anything but what I'm doing. And now we've finally gotten to this point where you're warning me. Who are you warning me for, sir? You got a boss. Tell him I still got nuts right here. Your warnings, all of your warnings, let it go. Stop talking about people. Go back and tell your boss that I see.
Completely referring to someone else. That was.
Do what you do, Dad. Do what you do.
Oh, I will. To the fullest.
Do what you do.
To the fullest. This changes nothing. Go back and tell your boss.
If Courtney's got a puppeteer and all the
I'm telling you, there's no way in the world he got the first hand anything. It was passed down, compiled by someone else. And like he's saying, he doesn't ever.
I'm not being funny, and I will just be honest. I did notice that myself. Of all the ways you could have positioned your hands, Courtney, that was the only way that you could have positioned them in a way that would have caused anything. And I'm going to be honest with you. I noticed that too.
As one TikTok user observed, another detail that stood out was how strongly Courtney Burgess defended Jay-Z and Beyonce, insisting there's no possible way the Carters could be linked to any of Diddy's alleged misconduct.
And Jaguar Wright held nothing back, and she was calling out Courtney Burgess on doing this. She said, "You are nobody," and she even believed that Courtney Burgess was planted with this information on purpose to basically get the feds to turn their eye off of other people that are allegedly going to go down with Diddy. And the person that she she called out was Jay-Z and the Carters. And then Courtney Burgess started acting really strange and multiple different times threw up these triangles while she was saying stuff like this. He did it about 5 different times throughout this live, to the point where somebody actually noticed, why does Courtney keep throwing up this triangle? And everyone thought this was super weird that Courtney Burgess kept throwing up this triangle sign at Jaguar Wright after she kept saying that you were planted with this information and it probably came from Jay-Z. We all know that Jay-Z has been known over the years to throw up the same triangle hand symbols. Jaguar Wright believes that Jay-Z is the one behind this because Courtney Burgess said that Jay-Z would never be involved in any of this, and he never saw him on any videotapes, and he would never do anything with Beyonce with another person.
Now let's connect the dots. Jaguar called out Ron Burkle, Desiree Perez, and Courtney Burgess, and just weeks later, she was almost killed. At this point, the issue extends far beyond Diddy. It points to a broader system, one funded by billionaires, protected by questionable witnesses, and maintained by behind-the-scenes industry fixers who rarely face public scrutiny. So the next time someone is discovered unresponsive in a hotel room, it may be worth paying attention to who they were speaking out against. Because if even a fraction of what Jaguar is saying is true, we're only beginning to uncover what's really going on.